Welcome to day 3, everybody. This is my favorite day, and it's easy to see why. I am joined by these beautiful women who are GiRLiFE coaches, who are all at various stages of their GiRLiFE journey. Some have recently joined, others have been a part of our world for a while. And I'm just going to sit back today and let these beautiful women share their hearts, share their why for joining GiRLiFE. And if anyone has questions, feel free to ask away. I will be monitoring the chats. And I will let you guys, who would like to start, to share a little bit about yourself and the why behind joining this program and getting to be a certified GiRLiFE coach.
I can start. My name is Luz Hernandez. I am a GiRLiFE coach in Southgate, that's in the city of LA. I have been in this journey for 2 years. I started in 2020, so it has completed 2 years. I'm going into my 3rd year. I started during the pandemic. At that time, we were in Zoom, so I started my workshops virtually. At the beginning, it was scary. I had fears, I had doubts or how I was gonna get these workshops out to my community. But as I jumped in and trusted the process and saw the curriculum, I knew that this investment was gonna prepare me to succeed. It was just about me showing up consistently and having fun, creating content and having fun with the girls as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Luz. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
Right.
Hi, I'm Phifer. I'm here in Maryland, East Coast, and I decided to become a GiRLiFE coach because I have a 18-year-old daughter who just started college, and we've gone on a journey together, and I'm excited that she's now becoming a young adult. But throughout her growing up, I was a scout leader, I was a coach, volleyball coach, basketball coach, mentor in a local middle school here, and still mentor here at the school that I'm currently working at. And I just love everything about GiRLiFE, the empowerment of just letting our girls know that they're fearfully and wonderfully made. My story is a little bit of this 10-year-old girl whose parents went through a divorce, and I carried the shame of that for so many years, thinking it was my fault that my parents had a difficult marriage, but came to realize that it wasn't my fault. So part of the reason I want to run a GiRLiFE program is just so that our girls know that things that happen in your past are not your fault, and just to empower them and encourage them to be the best version of themselves because they're uniquely and wonderfully made. So that's just a little bit about why I do and have decided to do this program. So I'm super excited.
Well, absolutely beautiful, Dee. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cara.
Yes, hi everybody. I'm Cara Nissen, and I am currently in Los Angeles area too, in the Sherman Oaks area, so down the street from Luz. So I actually heard about the program through Luz, and I think it was in 2020. I didn't actually join until 2021, and now here we are. No, 2022. Sorry, I'm losing track of my years. We're in 23 now. So with that being said, it took a little bit longer for me to get going and everything, but that's because I have these beautiful ladies here and in our community who push us every day and inspire me. So I will be starting my first series next month. So I'm super excited about that. And for me, it was just the little girl in me was being called to this program, and I wanted to give back to my community because I believe in mentorship. I've had mentorship programs, and I currently work at an all-women's university. So one of our mission is empowering our students. So I really wanted to bring that to the younger girls. It's not taught in the classroom. And so the curriculum and the message here, I just love it, and it's helped me grow and heal as a woman today. So I'm so happy to be here.
So happy to have you, Cara. Thank you for that intro. Allie, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry I was late. I joined with Luz actually back in 2020, June or July. And I am a health coach. And so I actually joined when I was a health coach student. And I just thought it was, and I only work with women. And I just thought it was a wonderful opportunity to reach the young girls before they become women and, introduce them to these life skills that I wish I had as a young girl. I know, Cara, you mentioned it and I came on late, I apologize. And I don't know if Luz or Dee mentioned it either, but, just talking to the young girl inside of me, I just feel like this message is, it's universal to everyone. And, whether you're a girl or a boy, actually I'm a mom of boys and I teach these messages to my young boys too. And I just think if we can get to these young girls now before they become adults, I think about where I could have been. Like, I feel like I would have been unstoppable had I had these messages, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But, I feel like the stories that I have and my personal experiences have led me to want to do this type of work, which is, so I don't regret, anything that happened in my life. I use everything as a lesson and, which is, transformed me as a person. And I just want to make sure that I can pass down, everything that I've learned to these girls too.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Allie. And I just, I love hearing the why behind what brought each of you into this space. I so resonate with it myself. I think we can all see ourselves in one another's stories in a profound way. But what I'm hearing from all of you that I love so much is that it's serving that young girl within you. And isn't that what it's about, after all? First and foremost, taking on the messages for ourselves. Perhaps we didn't have access to these messages. Most of us didn't, right? It wasn't the world that we lived in when we were growing up. And so what a beautiful thing it is for us to embrace these messages now and then take them to the girls, because it's hard to deliver something that you've never experienced. So the program, first and foremost, is designed to do that for us at every age and every stage of our journeys. And then it's the gift that we get to deliver to our girls. So I love hearing that from all of you. And I know that I am always amazed by all of you. I am always so inspired by the way that you put yourself out there. Like when you take on this new role as a GiRLiFE coach, facilitator, and the way that each of you has married the principles of the curriculum with what you're already doing to create this new role for yourself. So it's truly admirable. And I'd love to share a little bit, because I know that people who are thinking of joining, a lot of them are like, well, how do I add this to what I'm already doing? How can the two things complement each other? Like, what opportunities come up when we actually say yes to ourselves and start doing this? Does anybody want to speak to how you uniquely created this new role for yourself alongside what you're doing today?
I don't think I think we're all being polite.
Yeah,
I can
it's
just
like,
jump
you go
on.
first. No, you go
Yeah.
first. No, you go first.
Well, for me, you don't need any type of certification, background, anything. You don't need to be a teacher. You don't need to be a health coach. You don't need to be, have any type of experience. I mean, you're a woman. You have your own experiences and your own challenges and your own struggles, and that makes you qualified. And so I feel like, for me, it does fit in nicely with my career. And there are a lot of careers that it would, fit in nicely, like as like an umbrella. But you don't need a specific title. I think a lot of people feel blocked by that, and they don't feel like they're qualified, or they don't have the experience. But personally, if I was looking for something like this for my boys, I don't think I would be like, well, is he, a teacher? Does he have a license in this? Like, that wouldn't even cross my mind. Like, I would just want that person to be like a good person with good intentions, teaching my child. So, this literally could fit in any area. And especially as, like a woman or a mom, if you're not feeling like, if you're feeling, and this is what I work with like my clients too, like if you're feeling unfulfilled in your life, or if you lost like a sense of identity, I think this is an amazing way to find and fill that purpose again. And you're doing such good work and you're feeling like you're contributing, but you're also making an income at the same time. And there's just so many voids that you can fill with just giving back and teaching all these good tools to these girls and boys that fills you so much that you don't need any type of qualification. And Melody, the whole program and curriculum, it sets you up for success. Like you go through a whole the modules and you get certified, so you are certified at the end. You have a certification saying you're a certified GiRLiFE facilitator. So there you go. That's your qualification right there. But this fits into every type of lifestyle, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you. And I love seeing what you put out there, Allie, and, the demos you do and the health coaching, like it all comes together so beautifully. And I really do believe, just like what you said, I echo that. Like we are women, we've had our own unique experiences. We're coming from a place of beautiful intention. And so that's it. That is the prerequisite to doing this kind of work. The rest is what we do. Like we teach in the program and in the curriculum from the back end. So thank you so much for sharing that. Any other thoughts from you beautiful ladies?
Yeah, I would say that it takes passion and purpose. And passion in that you're enjoying what you're doing and you're knowing that you're walking in your purpose that you were designed for. And so if you can help change one girl's life, then that's worth it. It's like, what the purpose is for me is if I can have a conversation with someone and tell them the pain that I experienced and understand that it led me to the purpose that I'm now walking in, then it's all worth it. So I love the opportunity that I get to collaborate with such beautiful women such as you all and have that community that's supporting me as I support our community. So for me, my word for this year was growth. And I was like, okay, what does that look like? Well, for me, as I grow in Christ, then Christ will help me help others to grow in Christ. So it's about finding out what your purpose is, your passion is, and turning my pain into purpose and passion and helping change the world, just helping these girls to understand that you're here for a purpose and it's just not about yourself. So I'm loving the fact that I just get to walk in what I'm so passionately passionate about. Yeah.
Gorgeous. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. I can feel it. I can feel the energy. I can feel the passion. I love it so much. Thank you, Dee.
So for myself, I started this to empower my young daughters. I have two daughters. One is 16 years old and the other one is 13 years old. And then the girls in my community. I was a mother at the time, stay-at-home mom. During the pandemic, I decided to leave my previous job. So I was looking for something to inspire me, to motivate it, to move forward during that time, especially that we were in a lockdown. And I said, oh, I can implement these tools to my daughters and their friends. So I can start there. I continue working on myself as well. And I became a substitute teacher last year. So now what I get to do, I get to implement these mindset tools and mindful activities inside the classroom with the students, because as this is not taught in school, or it actually has been implemented a little bit, but it's like 5-10 minutes of their whole school year, the school day. And then I decided, why not implement these tools as I'm teaching, talk about gratitude, talk about kindness, and how is it that we can love each other and find that self-love as well. Because many of these students come from broken homes, or they're going through a lot in their household that they have lost who they are. They don't love themselves. They feel like it's their fault, whatever's happening at home. And at school, I create that safe space for them to feel welcome and know that they are important, they are heard, and they are seen. And these are the tools that we teach in the GiRLiFE workshops. So I take those to inside the classroom and everywhere I go, because now I am more aware of people around me. And if they need some words of encouragement, that's when I go and I step in. So I'm always aware of my surroundings and where is it that I can empower others from a place of love.
Beautiful, beautiful, Luz. Thank you so much. I love how you say you take it with you. It's always with you. These tools, like they're within us, and now you know it. And once you know it, you can't go back, right? And you don't want to. So that's beautiful. Thank you. Anyone want to add anything to
I
that?
wanted to add real fast. For me, I think it was the moment I said yes that more opportunities are starting to come my way, and I was on this path to kind of say yes, and then I'll say yes to the girls and the young girl inside of me. So I think, like everyone has said, any career, whatever you're doing, it will kind of guide you to your purpose and passion. Like last night, I was journaling about this very fact. Like I want to find, live in my purpose and passion more. And this program has done that for me. So I know this year it's just going to like level up and expand even more.
Gorgeous. Level up, level up. I love it. I love it. Yes. So good. Thank you, Cara. And I'm feeling that from you. I really am. It's so good to watch you go through this evolution and put your offers out there. It's so beautiful. I mean, there's so many directions I could take this call in, but the first thing, I guess, for those of us who have run workshops already, I know I have so many standout stories from actual workshops or from parents like calling me and saying, Melody, you wouldn't believe I caught my daughter meditating in her room at 3 a.m, like things like that, that just remind me like you are so on the right path and you are so here to do the work that you're doing. So keep doing it. Any standout stories from your workshops or from testimonials from parents that you'd like to share?
Yes.
Go ahead, Luz.
Oh, thank you, Ali. So one that really sticks to mind right now at this moment, it was during the pandemic. There were a lot of girls experiencing anxiety, depression, just because the world shut down all of a sudden, and they didn't know what to do with themselves. So I had this young lady, 15 years old, who showed up to my workshop, and the topic was about kindness. But as we were talking and had open dialogue, I noticed that actually the message for her at that moment was about self-love and self-confidence. So at that moment, I had to just like not rewrite the script, but just focus on what is it that she needed at that time. And as she continued going through the workshops, I was able to see a transformation of herself being confident, taking on opportunities and saying yes to her life and showing up to life. So now this girl has traveled to Canada all by herself, is taking leadership roles in her school. And her mom tells me, it was because of your workshops that my daughter was able to bounce back from this pandemic experience, because she's like, I thought I was losing her. She was very depressed in her room all the time, didn't go out, didn't have friends, not even with her cousins that live in the same household. So this work transforms lives, and it gives the girls that confidence, that self-love that they so much need, especially after the pandemic. So that's one of the stories that really have impacted my life as well.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you, Luz. Ali.
Yeah, that's amazing, Luz. I run my workshops right now, and I might change up my format, but right now I run them in the summers, and I run 1 week for 7 to 9-year-olds and 1 week for 10 to 12-year-olds. Work better for my schedule, and I run it as kind of like a camp. And so the first summer I did it, I remember having a girl in my class or my workshop, and she came back the next time too. So that's always like a wonderful testament to these workshops, is that they come back. Like I have multiple people come back, each year. But anyway, her mom, she learned the meditation, and I always question, I'm like, is meditation too young to be teaching? And at that point, it was like a 7-year-old. And but we were teaching it, I'm teaching it. And, the next day or a couple days later, her mom had texted me and she said, Allie, I just have to let you know, like, I had to take my daughter to a choir practice that she was in. And she doesn't like sitting there. She gets really antsy and she was getting in trouble. And her mom kept having to tell her to like quiet down. And she was like, you could tell she was just like not happy. And then all of a sudden her mom was in a choir practice. She sort of like forgot about her, and she saw her at the corner of her eye behind a chair meditating. And she was self-soothing and just, getting quiet and like calming herself. And came out of that meditation as like a completely different person. So you assume sometimes these kids are too young to be taught these things, or they're not going to pick them up. But man, like, don't assume anything. I was shocked. And there was another time this past summer, I remember the grandmother had signed up the daughter or the granddaughter, and she had moved from another state and she knew nobody, and she was very self-conscious. She like didn't want to open up. She had a lot of family issues going on, and so that's why the grandma had moved her down. And she was away from her mom, she was away from her newborn baby brother, and just a really difficult situation. And so not only did the workshops, like the curriculum and the themes and all the things that we talked about help her, but she gained a network of friends. Like the grandmother was so great. She would have parties over the summer to keep the girls connected. And so she instantly just got her confidence back and felt like a sense of belonging again that she didn't have before. So it goes beyond just learning the messages. It does create a bonding between the girls and, hopefully lifelong friendships too. So.
Wow. That's gorgeous, Allie. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, like I love like as a GiRLiFE coach, you yourself was like, you were asking yourself, are they too young to be learning meditation? And the truth is they're sponges, right? These kids are sponges, and they're sponges for whatever is in their environment, right? And so sometimes that's great, and sometimes it's not so great. And we want to fill in that gap of when it's not great. And yeah, like I've taught meditation to girls as young as 4 years old, and they're so in tune with it and excited about it. Like, I think it's so much easier to get a 5-year-old to meditate than a 55-year-old, because we're so set in our ways when we reach a certain age. And like the older we get, the more we find it hard to break patterns or create new ones, new rituals and new practices. So I love that you brought that up. Like, we get to introduce these girls to these things from such a young age so that they can just keep building on them. And also this piece of like, she walked away with the like-minded friends. She had a community of girls who were also learning, who also got her. That's one of my favorite things about the workshops too, is because then these kids see each other at school and they almost have this like special bond. Like, it's like they have this information, they have this superpower now that they didn't know they had beforehand. So I love to hear that. Thank you. These stories are everything, I think, to me for sure, but to our community, to remind us of the gift that we are giving, the gift that keeps on giving. There's no gift like it. Now, I've been speaking to a lot of women this week who have been considering joining, considering applying, and there's such, and I understand it. There's such a fear. There's such a fear of like, what if I don't do well with it? What if I don't have enough time to do the lessons? It's a lot of money. Like, how am I going to invest in this? Like, any thoughts or words of wisdom on any of this, and whether you experienced it and steps that you walked through to take, like, to be able to say, you know what, yes, I am wholeheartedly a yes, and I'm here for this work. What did you go through before that big yes?
Well, for myself, it was a lot of fear, a lot of doubt. I didn't have self-confidence in myself, how I thought I did. So that inner critic was very loud in my head, telling me, who are you to do this? How are you going to get this started? And you just left a job. How are you going to pay for this? Talking to my husband and him listening to my my words and seeing how this is lighting me up, he decided, let's invest in it. Let's invest in it and let's do the payments and let's just do it. I know once you set your mind to something, you go ahead and do it. So I'm sure once you invest in this program, you're gonna get to do the hard work and go ahead and put it out there in the community. So yeah, I had to actually say yes with fear but jump with faith. Jump with faith that I knew that this was gonna work out. So I had to actually get out of my way and step into my purpose. And every year I used to do like parties for my girls, and I used to do empowering crafts for them. So once I heard about that portion of the program, I was like, wow, this is perfect. Like, I love putting arts and crafts together for kids. So this is such an amazing way to empower the girls in a fun way, because it's very, very fun for the girls. They love that part, the empowering craft. This is where their imagination sparks, when they start having all these ideas, where the girls get to talk to each other and share stories and talk about what they're doing. And they get to see how each craft is unique, but very special to them. So that's what happened in my journey. I did feel a lot of fear, but I have to put that aside and say, you know what? This is for me. This is for a girl, that young girl that was within me that needed these tools at a young age. And my parents did their best. I'm very grateful, but I didn't have those tools. So what a better way than for me to get out there and empower the girls and share these tools with a little girl that needed them so much.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Amazing. Yeah. Pushing through that fear is everything. And look what's on the other side, Luz. You're like a powerhouse, right? Anyone who knows you is a testament to that. Like, you are living these principles every single day. It's so freaking inspiring. Thank you. Thanks, Luz. That's great. Anyone
I
else?
can share. So for me, I remember the day I signed up, I sent Melody like a voice like note, because we were back and forth, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just do this, because where am I gonna be in the next year? And the moment I said yes to myself, more opportunities were open and like allowing for me to heal myself. Yes, I was scared, and I'm still like, what am I doing? But you have a beautiful community. Melody is always here to cheer us on and bounce ideas off of. So I'm so grateful that I said yes, because I gained this like family of the GiRLiFE coaches. So there's fear, but I think the fear goes away once you say yes to yourself. And it's just a beautiful healing journey, and the girls need us out there. So like Dee was saying, if you can change one girl's life, it's worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. Thank you, Cara. And I saved that voice memo, by the way. I save all of them. So good. So good. Anybody else want to share on this topic?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was so scared, but you just have to listen to your gut and have your why be stronger than your fears. And you have to remove yourself from the situation. You have to take yourself out. These girls don't care who you are, where you came from, what job title you have. They want to be seen and they want to be heard. And that's what matters. And you're giving them a safe space to do that. And so a lot of these girls, like Luz said, they come from broken homes, or they don't have that same support. And so you are looking at them, you are talking to them, you are giving these inspiring messages, you're having a fun craft. Like, that's what they care about. That's what they're going to remember. They're not going to remember if you're nervous or you stumble over a word or you forgot to save something. That's all like little things that we criticize ourselves over that we just have to stop doing. Because when it's all said and done, you just need to show up and be there for them. That's what really matters. So remove yourself from the situation. Nobody's focusing on you and your qualifications or who you are. That doesn't matter, and certainly doesn't matter to them.
Gorgeous, Allie. Really, the greatest prerequisite is an open heart. Are you willing to open your heart? Are you willing to create a safe space where these girls can feel seen, heard, validated, all the things. That's all they really need, isn't it? You know, like we all go through our lives often like in autopilot. Even those of us who are parents, like we're sometimes parenting in autopilot because we're just moving to the next thing. Okay, let me get the meal on the table. Let me, get to work. Let me get my kids to school. Like it's just so autopilot. So for 2 hours in our workshops, everything stops. All of that routine stuff stops, and we really see one another, and we see these children, and we hear them. We listen to their stories, and they listen to ours. And that's like the beautiful synergy that's created. And I love that you say that. Like, yes, so many people fear. They're like, who am I to do this work? Right? Like, am I qualified? What like, why me? And it's like, stop asking, like, ask better questions, right? We need to ask better questions so we can get better responses. We need more empowered questions. Like, why not me? Like, how can I make a difference in this child's life? Like, what do I have to offer? What unique fingerprint am I going to bring to the workshops? And that's what I see when I look at all of you, and anyone who's watching us can see you are all so brilliant and beautiful in your own way, and nobody will do the workshop in the same way. And we don't want that. That's not what we're after. We're not trying to create a blueprint that everyone follows to a T and does in my way, because nobody can do it like me, just like I can't do it like Dee. I can't do it like Cara. I can't, like, it's just not, that's not what it's designed for. So I so appreciate you bringing that up. It looks like I have a question here from Rachel. How often do you hold the girl workshops? Once per month, per week? Where do they take place? School, church, house? I'll just answer, Rachel, just from me. I used to run the workshops all the time. And now obviously I'm on the back end of GiRLiFE, working with the facilitators, with the coaches, and creating the content. I don't do it as frequently, but when I did it, I was sometimes for certain groups doing it every week, and other times once a month, and other times. So like you could be running a workshop series for one group of girls, but then if your schedule opens up, like I realize, oh, it's MLK Day, the kids have off of school, and I immediately put out an offer and I have 25 kids in a one-off workshop. So you could do it any way you want it. You can do it as a membership. There are no rules, and you'll learn about this on the inside of the curriculum. There are no rules to the way that you do it, because obviously your lifestyle permits a certain way of doing things, and you have certain hours to devote to it. So it's completely up to you, but we provide the structure for any way that you choose to do it. Some do it as summer camps and winter camps and memberships. The possibilities are truly endless. Is there anything anyone wants to say to speak to that at all?
Personally, I started doing them once a month and virtually, but once everything opened up, it's once a month virtually and once a month in person. So I do like 2 workshops per month, because one is virtual and one is in person. But this summer I took it on to do a summer camp, and actually the first time around it didn't work out. No one signed up. I was a little bummed, but then I saw Allie, and she started her summer camp, and that really inspired me. And I said, hey, we still have more dates in the summer. Let me go ahead and put it out there again. So I did that, and yeah, I had 6 girls signed up. So I love this work because we each get to motivate each other and inspire. So that's how I do my workshops.
That's so good. So good. I love that you were inspired by Allie's workshops. And isn't that like what, as a community, what we do? We reflect to one another what's possible for each of us. Like I said, I get inspired by each of you every day, right? I'm like, wow, look what Allie's doing. Look what Cara's doing. Like, I need to, of course, there are only so many hours in a day, but like at the end of the day, we need to remember a few things. Like, first and foremost, not everything is a smashing success on the first day that we offer it. Like, that's just not necessarily real life. I like to dwell in abundance, and I like to believe that it will be. And usually it is. But there are times when we start on a project or we start with a group, and it takes time to build that momentum. It takes time for people to know us in this new role as a GiRLiFE coach. So just as you are patient with yourself when you first started learning how to walk, right? It didn't happen right away, but you never once said to yourself, I'm not going to walk. This walking thing is not for me, right? Like, I'm just going to continue crawling until I'm 22. Like, that's not how it is. Like, we fall, we get back up. Something doesn't work, we try something different. We collaborate with the community. We reach out to the family like, hey guys, how are you doing it? Does anyone have an idea for me? Like, we need to be creative and inventive and curious, as with all things, and get back on that horse when it doesn't work. Like if Luz had said, okay, nobody signed up for this, I'm done, I'm out of here. How many girls would have been robbed of the opportunity to work with Luz? But she got back up, and look what she did. And look what I mean, I encourage you all to follow these women on Instagram and on Facebook and see what they are doing. They are visions. They are amazing. So anyways, I could go on about that for hours, but like there is a learning curve and it takes time. So just never giving up on yourself. And I mean, maybe you guys can echo the sentiment, but I believe, you know, the curriculum works when you put in the work. I call it heart work, heart-centered work. It's like, you can't invest in the curriculum and then just leave it and never do anything with it, because obviously nothing will happen. But when you show up and you take inspired and aligned action, the curriculum works because you're working, because you're putting your heart into it. Any thoughts on that?
I was just going to say, I was going to echo what you were saying about, you know, don't give up if the first workshop doesn't work. Take that as an opportunity to learn like what you can do better. I almost feel like it's almost better like having like smaller workshops in the beginning, because you can work out those kinks, you know, and so you can get more creative, you can get more resourceful, you just figure out, you know, where the bumps in the road are. And so each, you can just, you know, layer upon each workshop, and each workshop just gets better and better. That's at least my experience. I was sort of grateful for the smaller ones in the beginning because, you know, I learned so much. And so as long as you embrace that and not expect your first workshop to be like, you know, having a wait list, you know, embrace the small workshops and learn from those, and just focus on one girl. That's who you have. That's an amazing opportunity to just focus and give your sole attention to that one child, because how often does one child get sole attention? And what you were saying earlier, when our parents, you know, parents are on autopilot, you know, some parents can have like the best of intentions and be like the best parent, but we get so busy, you know, and sometimes these messages need to be heard from other people, whether you're an amazing parent or you have some work to do. These messages need, I mean, whenever I teach these workshops, I'm teaching myself, I'm reminding myself. So even as a 43-year-old, I need to teach these workshops as a constant reminder. So that in itself is worth the price of the curriculum, because it is just a constant reminder. And that's everything, I think.
Gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it, love it all. Thank you. Thank you. Any other thoughts on that? So there's something that I think, even as like GiRLiFE coaches, I think anyone who takes on this role or any new role is like perfection paralysis, is like getting it all right out of the gate, like worrying about all of the details. You know, I think I struggled with this when I was just starting GiRLiFE, like my workshops, but then GiRLiFE, the academy. I struggled with like getting all the pieces in right and making sure everything was working perfectly. And the website has to be perfect. And, you know, my Instagram has to be pristine, all of this stuff. And I look back on my own journey and I'm like, my goodness, did I start messy? And I really did. Like, I had to start messy or I'd never start. And I look back on some of the first things that I put out, and I will never get rid of them and I will never erase them, because it's a testament to starting messy and like building on things. But like when GiRLiFE started, there were 7 workshops in the curriculum. There was no business training. I wasn't teaching about marketing or providing the branding information. There was no partner in shine program. There was obviously no community because I was just starting, but like I had to start somewhere. And if I hadn't started, we'd be missing out on 200 incredible GiRLiFE coaches doing this work. And I always remind myself of that. And I remind my daughters, even like when they're starting something, like if they're writing a new song or like going into a new group, like at school, like the groups that you join after school, and they get nervous and they're like, but everybody knows each other. I'm like, we all have to start somewhere. And in 10 years time, when you look back and you say to yourself, I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that I took that step. It's just never going to be perfect, is it? Like, it's just us saying yes over and over again and being willing to find new iterations of it, being willing to pull our audience. Like for example, when Luz's workshops, like they weren't getting enrollment, you know, there are so many things that can be done. We can pull the audience to find out, was it the topic that I was providing? Was it the time frame that didn't work for people? Was it that it was virtual and not in person? Was it that it was in person and not virtual? Like, we are this walking vault of resources, and there's no end to what we can do when we get creative and we get curious. And we just open our hearts. We just open our hearts and say, yes, I'm willing to do this messy and I'm willing to figure it out as I go, because the best thing you can do is just show up for a girl. That's the best thing that any of us can do. And that girl doesn't care what our website looks like. She doesn't care how pristine our Instagram page is. All she cares about is that we are present and right there with her, right?
Yes, that is correct, Melody. So it's just about showing up, being consistent, and having fun with it. I think if you put some joy into what you're doing, everything's gonna run with ease and flow. So when I started doing my workshops, I did have that perfectionism paralysis. And what I have learned is that also through practice and doing these workshops more often and continuing this work, being consistent, has helped me to stop my focusing on that area and instead focus on my why and focus on the girls that are with me in the present moment. So now I get to have fun with the girls. I get to be silly with them and just pretty much enjoy the process, because it's so beautiful how everything unfolds within the workshop. But it does, it took practice for me. It took practice to leave that perfectionism aside and just do it and take it on. The girls don't notice if I forgot the strawberries, and the girls don't notice if I forgot the glitter that time. They're just there to have fun, to make connections, and to learn the mindset tools.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's so true. And like, I so see you having fun with it. Like, you get the balloons and you create such an ambiance and an environment where, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening. All that matters is that you're all there together. And you're learning. They're learning, but they don't even realize they're learning because they're having a blast, right? And like, you're giving them, planting these seeds of empowerment, and it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. I know I've asked like really specific questions. Any last minute sentiments, thoughts, comments that you want to leave everybody with before we say goodbye for today?
I just wanted to share, thank you for everyone's time. And if you are on the fence, there's a reason why you're here in this group this week. So I want you to kind of think about that. If you're kind of like, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me. What I did was like, think about where you're going to be in like 3 months, 6 months, and where do you want to be? And I think this program can definitely get you to where you want to be. And like I was saying earlier, it helps heal yourself, your inner girl as well. So I just wanted to share that.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, Cara. Thank you. Thank you. That's like everything. It's everything. It's healed my inner girl too. It really has. So I love to hear it from you. Thank you.
I second what Cara said. If you're definitely here for a reason. I truly believe that. And you just have to listen to your gut. You know, don't think think 20 steps ahead. Just, you have to focus on like the next right step in front of you, and it will all come together. And no one's paying that close attention to you. I had to realize that nobody except for yourself is paying that close attention to you. There are, even my son the other day, he like mastered the Rubik's Cube, and I was like, he was so proud of himself. And I'm like, how many times do you think you tried to get that done? He's like, 1,000,000. I'm like, okay, it wasn't 1,000,000, but that was 1,000,000 mistakes that you made to get there. And did that feel like 1,000,000 mistakes? Did it feel like everyone was watching you? No, mommy, no, mommy. And so I'm always, and having that message resonate with my kids is like, no one's paying that close attention. This is how you learn. Listen to your instincts. I remember being in your position a couple of years ago and thinking, I'm going to be up there. Like, I just like had this knowing, like, I'm going to be the girl talking to the people considering it, and having like this awesome, story and experience to share. And you just have to believe, and you'll figure it out. You'll do it. So I hope, and if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to, comment below or private message me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Ali. That's so beautiful. And what a full circle moment for you, right? Like, and this is not the first time you're here sharing about your journey as a GiRLiFE coach, but like such a beautiful testament to like believing, visualizing. You were like affirming for yourself, I'm going to see myself up there, and I will be there sharing about my experiences with this program and all the lives I've been able to help transform, like play a role in. So that's gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I will say, first of all, believe in yourself. But most importantly, after this call, take the time to reflect on what you have heard from each one of us, and take that power of the pause, reflect, and see what your heart tells you. And if it's a yes, of course, thoughts are going to come in of wondering, of doubts, but let those just pass by. Like if they're little clouds passing by, do not entertain them, and focus on your heart. What is your heart really telling you? And if you can focus on that young girl within, or a girl that you know is going through hard times, and if that is your why, to empower her, then I say go for it. Book a call with Melody, because that's another thing that I did, that once I talked to Melody, like I felt this peace of mind and this trust, and I believe her. She told me, I'm going to be here along the way, and I believed her. And after 2 years of being in this program with these GiRLiFE coaches, it is true. Everything she says in that call, it is true. She's there every step of the way, and the facilitators as well. So we are here to support you. We are here to cheer you on. And if you say yes, it's going to be the best investment for yourself and those around you, including your family.
So beautiful. Thank you, Luz. Thank you so much. And I just to echo what Luz is saying, like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't like disappear. I don't disappear when you've signed up. If anything, I'm leaning in further, because this is the work that we get to do together. This is my favorite part of the work, is to collaborate with the women who've said yes, and to, help each of us reach the level where we can really bring in as many girls, as many hearts into our workshops as we can, and deliver these tools to them. So I'm not going anywhere. And we just had a little last minute question come in from Kyrune. She said, due to COVID, how do the Zoom sessions work for you with the girls' workshops? I know that you're doing Zoom workshops, Luz, and like they look like a freaking blast, because I'm watching your Instagram stories about them. They look like so much fun. How has that worked for you?
Yes, so I get a little creative on Zoom, because I know we're in front of the computer for about 2 hours. So they're very interactive and fun. I put some music at the beginning where the girls get to come in. And once we have all the girls, I start with the mindset tools. The empowering craft, I also put some music, and as they're working on their craft, we're dancing, we're moving, and it goes it's fun. It's just the energy that you actually bring to your Zooms that is gonna impact the girls, and it's gonna also work throughout those 2 hours. So at the end of the 2 hours, the girls don't want to leave.
Yeah.
They just like, oh, can you put another song, and can we dance, and can we still be here? They don't want to leave. They just want to stay there and continue the workshop.
That's so great. And how lucky are we that we still were able to show up during COVID? And it actually gave us a whole new portal to doing our workshops in a different way. So now we are able to do them virtually. We're able to reach girls across the globe, as well as our physical workshops. And we also pivoted during COVID as a company. We needed to start creating a way for our coaches to be able to show up virtually. So in the back end of the curriculum, there's an entire section dedicated to virtual workshops, open houses, like how do we tell parents what it is that we do? Like, we run open house sessions. We've really tried in the curriculum to leave no stone unturned and to give every tool that you would need to go out there and run these workshops and work with girls successfully and impactfully. So I hope that answers your question, Kyrone. Thank you everyone for joining us. Cara, Luz, Ali, and Davette, who I know had to log off because she was at work. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your heart with our community. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lots of love. We'll see you all same time, same place, 10 a.m. Tomorrow is all about the application process for becoming a GiRLiFE coach. We will go into full detail on that. And then on Friday, we have a Q&A session where everyone gets to come on Zoom and we get to see each other face to face. And I will be answering questions. All facilitators are welcome on that call as well. And just ask me for the details. I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you again for your time. Bye.